The state's lecture halls and dorm rooms have been empty for most of the pandemic, but that's about to change. International students will return to New South Wales within months. It'll only be a small number to start, but the state government's hoping a pilot program will pave the way for many more to study here in the new year.
Uni life has been almost non-existent during the pandemic, but there's a plan to get campuses buzzing again.
We want as many students back here to study in 2022 and get our universities back on the global map.
As part of a pilot, 500 fully vaccinated international students will return to New South Wales within months.
This new deal runs completely separate to the hotel quarantine. Not one returning Australian will miss out because of this program.
The students will pay for their seat on a charter flight, while universities will cover the cost of quarantine in Redfern. Those most in need of face-to-face learning will be given priority.
It's a big competitive world out there. We don't want students to go to other countries, but if they can't get back into Australia in the second year of a degree they would have started last year, it's very tempting for them to go elsewhere.
But only students who've had 2 shots of a TGA-recognised vaccine will be eligible, meaning people like Xinxin Wan won't be returning to campus anytime soon. She can only access Chinese-made vaccines.
I fully understand that, but I hope like in the end of the year or at the beginning of next year, more vaccines will be accepted.
Student bodies are cautiously optimistic.
There have been many announcements over the past 12 months that haven't come to fruition. So understandably, a lot of students are cautious about this kind of news and whether they will be one of the few that get to come back to Australia.
500 students is only a tiny fraction of the nearly 60,000 still stuck overseas, desperate to return. But the government says it will expand the program as vaccination rates rise here and overseas.
This is a really good first step, and we would hope to see similar moves in other states and territories.
Universities and students hopeful this plan will set the course for a smooth reopening. Lydia, Feng, ABC News, Sydney.
Doctors and nurses will also be flown in from overseas. The state government's recruiting staff from a range of countries to help manage the local COVID crisis. Hospitals are expected to be overwhelmed next month.
Whilst we're all gearing up for October, we still have to be careful about what happens in our ICU in November and December and beyond.
They've known about this for some time. They have left this far too late.
1,043 new cases have been discovered and 11 people have lost their lives. One of those people was an Indigenous man in the state's far west. Bill Ormond is live for us in Broken Hill. Bill, this is the first COVID death in the region.
Yeah, that's right, Kirsten. He was a 59-year-old Indigenous man from Broken Hill. He had pre-existing health conditions and he was also unvaccinated according to the local health district. He also didn't know that he had COVID until he attended the emergency department at the Broken Hill Hospital. It's prompted health authorities to issue this warning. Take a listen.